Hey, this is Tracy Nelson and welcome to my YouTube channel, and it's called Creation Adventures and Outdoor Education. And I've been doing a series on just handguns, and also did one on on shotguns, on break action shotguns, and there was a pump shotgun also, talking about self-defense, home defense. And I've been kind of walking you through different types of handguns, different possibilities, in case you're one of those folks that, thinking about getting a handgun, but you're not sure where to, what you need. And there's so many different choices, and you go in the gun store and you get overwhelmed. Well, I just want to give you some information. I'm not trying to get you to buy one or the other, but today we want to look at the model 1911 45 Auto. All right, and remember, it's always about safety. Okay, if you've seen my videos, I'm pointing right now this weapon in a safe direction. If I point it that way, it's in a safe direction, and anywhere down that way is in a safe direction. I just want to make sure that I'm always pointing my weapon in a safe direction. I always want to make sure I treat it as if it's loaded. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it back for you. And the way I like to do a semi-auto when I work the slide is to grip it. Some people like to, maybe pull it with thumb and their index finger, but I like to grab it on top, okay, where I get a good grip on it. And what I did is I just locked the slide back, okay. Now, let's just kind of go over this, just the components. First, the trigger guard, the trigger, and then you have your grip. You also have a safety here. It has to be compressed in order for you to be able to shoot this weapon, okay? The trigger won't go off if this is not pressed in. All right, let me switch over here. Don't cover anybody. Here's my slide release. All right, I just released it. This is a hammer lock. If I put that up, okay, the hammer will not fall. In other words, you can't shoot. All right. Now, I'm not somebody that carries the 1911 style weapon, but the guys that do carry them, from what I understand, they'll have one in the chamber, and they'll lock this hammer back when they carry. That way, if they have to pull their weapon out of the holster, it's just simply take that lock off, and they're ready to shoot. Okay, and what makes it single action is that once a round is in the chamber, you either have to cock this hammer manually, or you have to have it back and locked back with that hammer lock. Okay, so here it's also a single. It carries a single stack magazine. In other words, the rounds are just one row of rounds on top of each other in the magazine. Okay, you see how big that round is. This is a man stopper right here. Okay. So the magazine is inserted up into the magazine well, and then you have to rack it and put one in the chamber. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll shoot this for you and show you that now it's a big round, but here's something else to think about. This gun is all metal. I mean, except for the wooden grips. This is a fairly heavy gun, and so it handles the big round a little better, and the recoil is not that bad at all. Matter of fact, I'll shoot it one-handed for you once I get my eyes and ears on. So if you wonder what I was shooting at, I was actually shooting at those tennis balls that are hanging up. All right, so it locks back once you run dry, in other words, once you've shot all your rounds, it does lock back. Then you can physically check it, look it, and see that the chamber is empty. If you want to, you can drop the slide, and then you can drop the hammer. It's kind of tricky, but you can drop the hammer, but you have to have this pressed in, okay? All right, so this type weapon was real popular for years and years. The guys that carried semi-autos carried this type of firearm. All right, so it's proven itself in battle. It's proven itself in many different ways. It's been reliable. It's hard, and it's just so comfortable. You saw me shooting it one hand. It just feels good in the hand. When I was a young man, there was a show on, and that kind of made this weapon, I think, even more popular. And it was called Magnum PI. I had a fellow in there in the show named Tom Selleck, who's gotten, he's getting older like the rest of us. Anyway, he was kind of a heartthrob, and he was a private investigator, and he'd go on different investigations. But Tom, he had the old 1911 45 is what he carried when he got in some trouble and needed a weapon. Okay, so that kind of, he always made it look good, but it is a nice weapon, and this is a knockoff. This is not mine, but I borrowed this from somebody. But this is a Rock Island Armory, and you can invest. There are different companies that make this 1911 style handgun, and you can get a lot of money invested in one real quick if you really want to. Or you can find a cheap, like a knockoff brand. It may suit your needs and your purposes. Anyway, that's the single action semi-automatic 1911 style 45 auto handgun. And hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day. And God bless you.